Morning, friends. So I wanted to tell you about this pastor who was out in his front lawn, raking some leaves, taking care of his spring cleaning, when as walks a boy pushing a lawnmower with a for sale sign hanging off of it. The pastor says, "Oh, you're interested in selling the lawnmower?" Boy says, "Yeah, we have two at our house. My dad doesn't need this one anymore." So he said, "Whatever I get for the lawnmower, I can use that money to buy the bicycle from my neighbor." The pastor says, "Okay, well, how much do you want for it?" The boy says, "Well, my neighbor wants $25 for the bike, so I would take anything over $25." Pastor says, "Okay, I'll give you 30, enough for the bike and enough to buy you some ice cream later." Boy says, "You got a deal." Pastor gives him the $30. The boy pushes the lawnmower into the pastor's lawn, starts to walk away. Pastor immediately wants to try out his new lawnmower, so he pulls the cord to fire it up. Nothing. Pulls the cord again. Nothing. Now he's looking down the block and he sees the boy getting a little further away. Pulls the cord. Nothing. Pastor yells at the boy, "Hey, the lawnmower won't start." So the boy jogs back and says, "My dad said you have to cuss at it. You have to swear at the lawnmower to get it to start." Pastor's like, "Well, I've been ordained for so long, I don't even remember how to swear anymore." Boy says, "Keep pulling that cord and you'll remember." So hearing this joke, I don't know if the joke's about the cussing or the lawnmower or pastor's not swearing. I'll let you determine that. Um, but it reminds me of how myself, my family, we're getting to pack up our things again as we are moving for the second time in 3 years. Don't remind my wife of that. But we're packing things up, donating things, selling things. Come across boxes of stuff that we haven't opened in 3 years. And in my mind, well, if we haven't used it in 3 years, we probably don't need it. We're downsizing our garage size, so I have to get rid of some of my bigger tools. And quite frankly, I don't really use some of the big stuff that much anymore. So I'll be selling tools for anyone that might be watching and interested. Um, but stuff, we accumulate it. We have so many things of it. Brings us to today's proverb as we continue wisdom to live by from the Old Testament. And Proverbs 15:16 says, "Better is a little with fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it." Immediately jumps out is fear of the Lord. What does that mean? Are we scared of God now? No, of course not. We're not scared of God. We need to read it in context and what the author meant. And fear isn't, punishment of what God's going to do to us if we don't listen to him. It's not, we're intimidated by God, but instead it means awe. We're in awe of God. We are reverent toward God. We respect God. We want to do and to follow God. That's what it means to fear God. It means to follow God and not follow man, not follow the way of the world that we've become so accustomed to. I mean, I don't have to tell you that we live in a world of consumerism and materialism. Just look at what we've turned Christmas into, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves, the commercialization of Christmas and thinking that we need to buy and to spend and to accumulate to show others that we love them. And that's so far from what Christmas is actually about. But even away from Christmas, we are in this mentality of the more we have, the better we are, or new things mean greater things than what we've had before. But as soon as we buy it, as soon as we have it, that fleeting moment of the adrenaline, the endorphins kicking in, it's fleeting, it's gone because we now have it. Now we want the next and greatest thing. It's suddenly, if we buy an electronic or a car, as soon as we purchase it and take it away off the lot or out of the store, it becomes outdated and soon obsolete. And we want the next greatest thing, the newest, greatest gadget. But that is so far away from what Scripture tells us, what Jesus taught us, what this proverb is saying to us. I like what John Wesley, the founder of the beginning of the movement of Methodism, he wrote, and he said, "Earn all you can, save all you can, to give all you can." Wesley didn't mind wealth. He didn't think because you had money that you were somehow a sinner. But he did preach and believe in, and what the author of this Proverbs is about living frugally and simply. Yes, you can earn money, you can accumulate money, but then as you save some, you also need to give some. And you give it to others, you give it to God, to the church, to do great things because the stuff that we accumulate, that we just hoard ourselves around our house, and we fill our shelves and our closets, our basements, our attics, our garages, the stuff means nothing, right? It's just things. Um, this author, John Wesley Jesus, simple life, to live simply, to live a minimalist life. Marie Kondo, right? If this item doesn't bring you immediate joy and satisfaction, to paraphrase her, get rid of it. You don't need it. The joy is not in the thing, but the joy comes by having less and instead putting our trust and our faith and love in God instead of gadgets and gizmos and tools and cars and whatever else, knickknacks and gadgets that we accumulate. Better is a little with fear of the Lord than having great treasure and trouble with it. See, we think the great treasure comes from stuff and things of this world, but it's paradoxical again, right? Even though we might have little according to what the world says that we actually have the great treasure, and that's the joy, knowing that God does not have an expiration date, that God's gift of free grace doesn't expire, doesn't become outdated, but it lasts forever. And to that, I hope we all can say, thanks be to God. Folks, stick around for our special music today, and may God be with you until we meet again.